As I was researching this race before I did it, I could not find many videos on YouTube to explain what it is and what it's all about and what to expect, so I decided to make one myself after my race. So here it is, please enjoy. This is a 100-kilometer race with a 2,420-meter elevation gain. All the big climbs are in the first two-thirds of the course, which means a faster 40-kilometer flat finish. Or at least that's what you'd expect. There are 5 checkpoints and 4 extra water stations on the course, which is reasonable. The race has a few cutoff times with a finish line cutoff of 18 hours. It's beautiful, it's long, it's up and down. It's Noosa Ultra Trail 100. Start from race precinct. I want to talk about it because it was difficult for me to find it, so hopefully I can help you to prevent not finding it from happening. Here we are in Noosa Ultra Trail website, and as we can see, the start location and also the race precinct location is in Noosa District Sports Complex. But if we go to Google Maps and we put that in, it actually shows you a wrong location. So this Noosa District Netball Association grounds comes up, and this is not the building where the race precinct was, and it was here. It was this building here, which is Noosa Touch Association. You can access it through Shields and Butler Street corner. Then you drive in, you park here, and then you can walk in and you'll find everything you need about the race in there. Once I went to collect my bag, my bib, and all the stuff that they give, I received, of course, my bib, which was number 83, and then I also was able to choose from a visor or this buff, which I think is pretty cool. I didn't choose a visor just because I have so many visors from other competitions and I just don't use them. And also I was able to choose from a different color shirt, and I chose this navy blue, which looks pretty cool. It's a nice cotton shirt, as you can see. I think there was dark green and gray colors. I just thought that this blue will be good for me. Days leading towards the race, it was pouring down rain. It was stormy weather and obviously the conditions were not great. I actually was thinking that they might cancel the race if it was too stormy on the day. Once I woke up on the race morning, there wasn't raining at all and I was pleasantly surprised. It was still muddy and wet all over the place. Race start. This race started in 3 waves. There was a 6 a.m. start, 6:05 and 6:10. This time I decided to be the last person starting the race, just so I could see how many people I could take over. 6 kilometers in, we reached the first checkpoint, and by that time the shoes were completely wet, soaked up. The terrain was literally crossing rivers and streamy waters and puddles and mud. It was liberating because once your feet are wet, then you don't care. At first you would try to avoid these puddles and you would bleed time and you would have to slow down. But then once your feet are wet, you can just bulldoze through. And that's what I did, and the others as well. And the first checkpoint wasn't anything special because there was only water station. I think they had water and Coke. I just ran past it. I wasn't thirsty or depleted by any means, so I just decided to move on to the next checkpoint. Checkpoint 2 was on this hill. It's called Twin Hill Views and it's on kilometer 23. That was a beautiful location. I had some food and I had some drinks. I think I refilled my water bottles. And my support crew was there as well. They took some videos of me and the day was getting better. The sun was coming out. There was lots of people as well cheering. I think the other race started at that location. I think they're hosting 20k, 15k, 50k and 80k races on the same day. So probably one of them started from checkpoint 2. Moving on from checkpoint 2, I'm not sure why they didn't call it checkpoint 3, but it's just called Madill Road. Just before that, we reached the highest peak, which wasn't too hard, but if I had my poles with me, I could have attacked that hill harder and I could have saved some time. So if next time I'm doing this race, I would definitely take my poles. And then at checkpoint 3, which was Kuran, I would leave my trekking poles with my support crew because I saw other athletes was doing that and I thought that was pretty clever, just to save some legs, save some energy. After checkpoint 3, it wasn't hilly at all. I was just cruising. However, I started feeling weak about kilometer 60. I really had some tough time between checkpoint 3 and checkpoint 4 for some reason. Probably my nutrition wasn't on point because I'm still experimenting with my nutrition. I'm still new to this trail running, and yeah, I think that was the case. However, in Pomona, I took a break. I decided to freshen up and I planned to change my shoes and change my shirt and socks. It was great. It was great feeling fresh. However, I spent 20 minutes in that checkpoint and I don't think it was worth it because a kilometer, maybe 3 kilometers after Pomona, my feet got completely soaked once again. Yeah, I just don't think it was worth it. So between Pomona and Lake McDonald, which is checkpoint 5, there were some very, very muddy and just not runnable spots, which is fine, but we were slow. All the athletes, which were pretty spread out at that time, also tired because we already did 2 marathons. But it was completely flat most of the time. Then I reached checkpoint 5 and it started raining again and it was getting darker, so I decided to put the high-vis vest on and also my torch lamp, which wasn't the best because once it got dark running towards the finish, I started using the torch and I realized that it's just too weak and not bright enough, and I was really suffering because of it. I was using my phone to help me see the road because it was very muddy, it was unrunnable. My legs were knee deep in the water at some spots. There was this spot where for a kilometer or maybe even 2 kilometers, my feet were ankles deep in the water always. And I couldn't see shit because of my shitty torch. So if you're getting a torch and you're planning to do this long race, which you know you're gonna be running after dark, I would highly recommend you to get the torch that is 300 lumens or brighter. Finally, I reached the finish and my morale wasn't too high because of the conditions of the race, and I guess I just felt tired and just frustrated with this terrain. That was my main issue. I also felt some stomach pains as well, but I was fine and I was glad to finish in 13 hours and 13 minutes because my initial goal time was 15 hours, and so I did the race almost 2 hours faster. I think my training plan that I built myself really helped me out and I was over prepared for this race. Overall, I'm not disappointed in my performance and I think the experience is great, and I would recommend you to do this race if you're considering. Now let's talk about the medal. I've seen athletes from previous years who've done this race having the same medal. Only thing that's changing is the strap. So it says 2024. So probably if you're doing this race next year or if you did it before, you have the same medal just with a different strap, which is pretty cool, but it would be nice if it would be somewhat different every year. Just a thought, no hard feelings. My takeaways from this race. As I mentioned, use poles for the first half of the race and then ditch them at checkpoint 3, which is Kuran. Keep your stomach running all the time. I've seen people having some GI distress and vomiting and they say they couldn't eat. The main reason for that is that you don't keep your stomach running, and so every 30 to 40 minutes you should put something in. In that case you will avoid the GI distress. The other thing that would have saved me time was a race belt. If you're changing a shirt, you're gonna have to take this bib off and then reattach it to the new shirt. And if you would have a race belt or attach it somewhere where it doesn't require changing or removing and reapplying, the race belt would really save time, but it's not a big deal because in this specific race you don't really need to change any gear. The last and most important tip, if you still have time, train for it. Get yourself a training plan and train for at least 8 weeks. Get your legs to at least 100 kilometers every week. Do some trail running and most importantly hill running, which is definitely gonna strengthen all those micro muscles around your ankles and your shins and get the quad strength for climbing. If you're undertrained for races like that, you will most likely not gonna finish or not gonna have a good experience just because you don't have enough strength in your legs to do such things. I hope this was somewhat helpful. If you did enjoy this video, then please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next one because I'm planning to do more races and I'll do videos just like this one to help my fellow athletes out.
And we've got family here, all smiles, ready to capture the moment. She makes that final stretch down into the finish chute. That's it. You're almost home, Robin. You've done an amazing job. With everything that's come at you today, from the sun, the rain, the mud, where you've had it all, and you're coming down that finish line. Proud moment for Mum with son running beside her as she comes.